I've actually never done a reaction to a Digital Circus episode. I watched it during work, so I could get a call at any time. In fact, I did get a call about 7 minutes in the episode, had to take the call, but then I did finish the rest of the episode. And my thoughts are I knew it. There is something good with Jax. So, spoilers for the episode. The whole idea is they do the suggestion box again. But whereas last time they did one suggestion box adventure, they do multiple suggestion box adventures. Now, I do ultimately think that the third episode is still my favorite episode. But I did like this episode more than episode 4, which focused on Gangle. Was this the Jax focused episode? We certainly learned the most about Jax in it. Uh, it seems like now you know me. I love the character of Kurama in the Naruto episode because for the longest time we were essentially told that he was a bad guy, only to find out that he was bad because people made him out to be bad and mistreated and got mad at that. So attacked the village because he was mistreated. And go figure, once someone gave him some love, um, turned out to actually be a hero. Even died for Naruto later in the series. Came back, thankfully. But, um, but my hope was that essentially we would find that for Jax. My hope this whole time has been that Jax had a heart deep down under there, and this episode is the episode that I've been waiting for. Because while I don't like Jax being so mean to everyone, I don't see him ever do anything horrible. I mean, he's not good, but like one theory that I saw posited after this episode that I'm actually kind of on board with is he's the most real of anyone here, despite being a purple rabbit. And that he's trying to, the theory is he's trying to keep people on their toes so they don't abstract, and that's because it is said, and I forgot this, it is said that he was good friends with Kaufmo, who is the one who extracted the first episode, and it brings up an interesting point about me that the reason he ran away from Kaufmo in the first episode of Extracted was because he couldn't process that he lost his friend. The reason that this actually relates to me, ironically enough, is the first time I lost someone in my life, I couldn't even go up to their caskets. I couldn't. I mean, I didn't really deny that they were dead, but I couldn't like really process it. I was a young adult too, so I was just out of college when it happened. I was either just out of college or in college when it happened. Pretty sure it was just. Actually, it might have even been high school. But it was if it was high school, it would have been senior year. No, I'm gonna go ahead and say it was the freshman or sophomore year of college because it was after a couple years after that. So yeah, I was in college and I never lost someone. Had lost dogs, been sad about that, but ultimately I couldn't process it. So what did I do? I got mad and ran away. That's actually what happened when I lost my first dog too. Um, and grief can change you. I know last year, when I was having personal issues, I pretty much became another person. Like, even the people in the game were saying, "Are like, what happened to you?" Game I don't play anymore, thankfully. Um, but the idea that, and one other thing that I like is there is a um there is a song that I am addicted to now that is actually thankfully it was on iTunes called Knock Knock Who Cares that is sung by I forgot the name of the actor. Can I pause and get that? So it's sung by Black Griffin and Basic. So who's Basic? Is Basic the voice actor? Because I could have swore that the voice actor does the bridge of the song, which is like kind of this moment where it's existential because it's like the whole song is like, knock knock, who cares is the verse. Never gonna catch me acting scared. But that's the whole thing. Never gonna catch me acting scared. And the voice that the chorus that the bridge, sorry, that the voice actor of Jack actually sings is your um calm down, you're fine. This is all in your mind. Um, Cruel jokes can't hide the feelings burning inside. They're not your friends. They're not your friends. You don't care about them. And the whole it happens again and again and again and again. And I think he's talking about abstraction, and that made me wonder, like, could the show be leading? And that was after episode 4, so the show was the show clearly Amazing Digital Circus let this happen because they let the voice actor go record this, and I mean, I don't remember if it was asked to be recorded or if they asked to record it and was approved, but now we've got this break in Jax's armor where he tries to befriend Pomni in this, and I do think people saying that were right, that he's actually trying to befriend Pomni. Or it's like I see in this episode what I wanted to see, which is like he's desperate to try to make friends with someone. And I like the idea that his friend was Kaufmo, and it's actually been said that now because Kaufmo is out, he doesn't have anyone. Again, this kind of plays into the idea of Naruto when the Ninetales, because the Ninetales had a friend essentially in the Sage of the Sixth Pass, that went away and everyone hated him. So what was he going to do? He was going to be the monster everyone thought he was, until Naruto came along. So I like the idea that later in the episode, Pomni is actually trying to be Jax's friend, trying to talk with him, as with earlier in the episode. And I like the idea that Pomni could essentially this could be a Naruto Kurama situation where Pomni is actually going to talk to and spend some time with Jax and try to convince Jax you don't have to be this bad. Now, I will say Glitch, the people who make this show, has said that Jax is a bad person. And for a long time I was like, oh man, that means that he's gonna not change. But then I remembered something. Yes, he is a bad person. But that doesn't mean he can't change. And this does seem to sort of play into that, this episode where like he's trying to change, and I like the idea that he could change. That yes, he is a bad person, but he doesn't have to stay that way. I would actually really like it if Jax does essentially break down at some point and reveal that he's tired of being hated and that he only did this because he thought that that's who he was, or who he had to be, rather. He thought that's who he had to be to keep everyone on their toes, to keep everyone good. But all this suffering he's causing, like constantly breaking Ginkgo's mask, constantly teasing people. The funny thing is, other than breaking Ginkgo's mask, he never actually truly hurts anyone, to my opinion. It's just like he's kind of having fun. He's kind of like keeping people on his toes. And I'm not saying that he did the right thing. Again, if we go back to that Kurama example, he killed Naruto's parents. Like, he might have been forgiven for that later. It's complicated, much more complicated than that. But doesn't mean he did the right thing. Like, Jax is not doing the right thing. I will never say he's doing the right thing. But I will also never say that he can't be redeemed. His crimes are are far less worse than Kurama's were. That's for sure. He hasn't actually killed anyone, or has he? That's the other thing to be scared for. Is what is the secret with the doll? What is the secret with the dolls that he's keeping from Gangle? And what is the secret that Zubul is keeping about Jax? Could he have actually been responsible for the abstraction of a character? And does he blame himself? And is that why? Basically, what is the reason for why he is? We knew found it out for Kurama, but what is the reason for Jax? That's my question now, and that's what I hope they answer in a future episode. Great episode of this. Second favorite episode. How do you end one of these? I didn't share. Oh, X button.